In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 NBA games happening on April 11, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Miami Heat versus New Orleans Pelicans. It's a cross-conference showdown between two teams looking to snag a win late in the season, with the Miami Heat rolling into New Orleans to take on the Pelicans Friday night. Miami comes into the game with a 36-44 record, while the Pelicans, heading into the first game of a back-to-back on Thursday, are limping along at 21-58. The Heat are still dealing with the absence of Kevin Love, Nikola Jovic, and Pelle Larsson. On the flip side, New Orleans will once again be without Jose Alvarado, Zion Williamson, and CJ McCollum. Miami was building momentum and looking strong before hitting a rough patch, but they're still clear favorites against a Pelicans squad that's been gutted by injuries. The Heat are coming in fresh after a couple of days off, while the Pelicans will be dragging, playing for the second night in a row. Let's be real, New Orleans is completely depleted. Not a single member of their original starting lineup from the beginning of the season is suiting up for this one. Zion only made it into 30 games, Murray saw 31, Murphy 3 got to 53, and McCollum played in 56. It's a brutal stretch. This is their third game in 4 nights, and they're playing out the string with nothing at stake. Miami, on the other hand, is still in the hunt. They're trying to lock down home court for the 9-10th play-in game, even though a tough loss to Chicago earlier in the week might have dealt a serious blow to that goal. Still, they have something to fight for, which is more than you can say for New Orleans. The Heat are still hanging on to hope, as the play-in seeding won't be finalized until Sunday. And if there's even a slight chance they can grab the 8th spot, they're going for it. Tyler Herro has been dialed in lately, averaging 28 points a night over his last 9 games. Meanwhile, the Pelicans are falling apart. Most of their core guys are shut down, and it's showing. They've lost 14 of their last 18 and are riding a 4-game skid heading into this one. It's hard to see them putting up much of a fight. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Over their last 10 games, the Heat have been scoring at a better clip than usual, putting up 117 points per game, almost 7 more than their season average. Defensively, they've been sharp too, allowing just 105 points per game in that same span. They're not a fast-paced team, only 96.1 possessions per night, ranking 28th in tempo, and their offensive efficiency sits in the bottom third of the league. New Orleans, dealing with all their injuries, hasn't been able to generate much offense either. They're scoring just 107 points over their last 10 games, which is a drop from their season average. They play a little faster, averaging 98.9 possessions, but their offensive efficiency is even worse, ranking 25th. Miami's defense has been one of the toughest in the league all season, giving up just 110 points per game, good for 7th best overall. Lately, they've been locking things down even more, holding teams to just under 105 points per game in their last 11. New Orleans, on the other hand, ranks near the bottom defensively, and with so many players out, it's hard to see how they'll slow down guys like Herro. Offensively, they just don't have enough firepower. Jose Alvarado, at 10 points a game, is their top healthy scorer. Miami's defense should have no problem clamping down, and their offense should do just enough to pull away. These teams have seen 7 of their last 10 matchups come in under the total, and with New Orleans running on fumes and missing basically everyone, this one is shaping up the same way. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Wizards versus Chicago Bulls. It's an Eastern Conference clash on the hardwood as the Washington Wizards hit the road to face off against the Chicago Bulls Friday night in the Windy City. Washington is coming off a rough outing, getting handled 122-103 at home by Philadelphia on Wednesday, failing to cover as a 3.5-point underdog. On the flip side, Chicago pulled off a solid win in their last game, taking down Miami 119-111 at home and cashing in as a 2-point underdog. The Bulls have the upper hand historically in this matchup, leading the all-time regular season series 135-111. That includes a dominant 138-105 win at home the last time these teams met back on January 10th. The Wizards are limping into this one without several key players, including Saddiq Bey, Anthony Gill, Richaun Holmes, and K.A. Tris Middleton. On Chicago's side, they'll be missing Lonzo Ball, Tree Jones, and Ayo Dosunmu. Washington has been one of the coldest teams in the league lately, and coming off a blowout loss to a struggling Sixers team doesn't help. Meanwhile, the Bulls seem to be clicking right now. They're healthier, playing sharper, and have a real shot to pour it on against a Washington team that's just riding out the season. I'm not exactly thrilled about laying this many points with the Bulls. This will actually be the first time since 2015 that Chicago is favored by 15 or more, which is pretty rare in the NBA. Still, this game matters a lot more to the Bulls, who are trying to hold on to their spot in the play-in tournament. The Wizards, despite regularly being huge underdogs, have only managed a 33-46-1 record against the spread. And let's not forget, the last time these two faced off, Chicago blew them out by 33. There's really no reason to think this one will be much different. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When you dig into the offensive stats for the season, it's clear neither team is exactly lighting it up. The Bulls rank 20th in offensive rating at 113.2, and the Wizards sit dead last with a 105.9 rating. On the glass, both teams struggle to clean up their own misses. Washington is 23rd in offensive rebounding percentage at 27.3%, and Chicago is even worse at 28th with just 25.9%. These squads have also tended to play low-scoring games when they meet. They've hit the under in 8 of their last 10 matchups, including each of the past 3. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Raptors versus Dallas Mavericks. The Los Angeles Lakers, currently sitting at 48 wins and 30 losses, are in third place in the Western Conference standings. They're gearing up for a big showdown against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who sit atop the conference with a dominant 64-14 record. That game is set for April 8th and will be played at the Paycom Center, which should be buzzing. It's not just another regular season game either. This one has some weight to it. It's the third and final time these two teams will face off this season, and the winner not only takes the game but also wins the season series outright. The Lakers come into this game riding a bit of momentum, having won their last 2 matchups. On the flip side, the Thunder have hit a rough patch with 2 straight losses, so there's a lot on the line here. Bragging rights for the season, a chance to keep building toward the playoffs, and maybe even shift the tone for both teams moving forward. The Toronto Raptors are still operating without some key players. R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Jakob Poeltl remain out. As for the Dallas Mavericks, they're monitoring several guys as game-time decisions. Jaden Hardy, Klay Thompson, Dante Exum, and Spencer Dinwiddie are all listed as questionable. That could make a big impact depending on who suits up. Defensively, there's been a clear contrast between these two teams lately. The Raptors are clamping down, giving up just 108.5 points on average over their last 4 contests. Meanwhile, Dallas is allowing a much higher 118 points per game over their past 5. When it comes to offensive rebounding, there's another noticeable gap. Toronto ranks 5th in the league, pulling in boards on 31.2% of their missed shots. Dallas is way down in 25th, managing only a 27% offensive rebounding rate. The Raptors also have a solid record against the spread recently. They've covered in 4 of their last 5 meetings with the Mavericks. There's a bit more on the line for Dallas. They're trying to climb up to the 9th seed in the playoff standings, so that motivation could give them an edge in the betting lines. Still, it's hard to ignore how banged up they are, and laying a lot of points with a short-handed team isn't always the smartest move. On the other side, Toronto keeps showing up, giving max effort night after night. They've cashed in plenty for bettors this season, sporting an impressive 48-31-1 record against the spread. Bookmakers keep underestimating them, but they just keep coming through. Only Oklahoma City has been better than Toronto when it comes to covering the number. The Raptors might not have anything to gain in the standings, but you wouldn't know it by how they play. They bring energy, effort, and a bit of pride every night. You can count on them to try and throw a wrench into the Mavericks' plans. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Raptors to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I have a hard time trusting this Dallas offense to do much against a Toronto defense that's been a real problem on the perimeter. The Raptors rank 10th in the league when it comes to defending mid-range shots, and they're even tougher from 3-point range, where they're ranked 4th. Dallas isn't exactly lighting it up from either of those spots, so it could be a grind for them to score. On the other end, Toronto might not have it much easier. The Mavericks are strong defensively around the basket, and the Raptors are among the league's worst in rim finishing, mid-range accuracy, and three-point shooting. So this one could be a low-scoring battle on both sides. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Memphis Grizzlies versus Denver Nuggets. The Memphis Grizzlies, sitting at 47 wins and 32 losses, are gearing up to face the Denver Nuggets, who come in just a notch ahead at 48-32. This game's going down Friday night at Ball Arena and carries a little extra weight. It's the last time these teams meet this season, and whoever comes out on top will take the season series. Memphis is still without Brandon Clark and Jalen Wells, which definitely doesn't help their depth. On the other side, the Nuggets are once again missing Jamal Murray. The Grizzlies have been in a pretty bad spot lately, and after getting blown out by the Timberwolves last night, their morale's got to be hurting. Denver's not exactly lighting it up either. They've dropped 7 of their last 11 and had to deal with the drama of losing their head coach. That said, they're mostly healthy and had an extra day to rest since their last game was on Wednesday. I took a shot with the Grizzlies last night, but they fell flat on their face, giving up 141 points to Minnesota. It's tough to bounce back from something like that with any real energy. Playing in Denver's altitude on the second night of a back-to-back is brutal, and it's not a spot that favors the road team. The Nuggets managed to pull off a solid road win in their first outing after parting ways with Mike Malone, and there's a chance they can keep some of that momentum rolling. They've had the Grizzlies' number lately too, winning 8 of the last 10 matchups and covering the spread in 7 of them. If Memphis had any real fire left in them, they would have shown up better last night. As our first pick for this matchup, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Offensively, both teams have been putting up good numbers lately. Memphis is averaging 117 points over their last 4 games, while Denver is putting up 118.6 over their last 5. They also like to move. Memphis leads the league in pace with a 103.74 rating, and Denver isn't far behind in 7th at 100.67. When these two square off, it usually leads to points, with the over cashing in 4 of their last 5 matchups. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Brooklyn Nets versus Minnesota Timberwolves. This Friday, the Minnesota Timberwolves will be welcoming the Brooklyn Nets to Target Center for what should be an interesting late-season showdown. The Nets roll in holding a 26-53 record overall, including a rough 14-26 mark on the road. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves are sitting in a much better spot with a 46-33 record, and they've been solid at home too, going 23-16 on their own floor. Brooklyn's still missing key pieces like D'Angelo Russell, Cam Thomas, and Cameron Johnson. It's clear they've shut it down for the season, resting their top players and coming off a blowout loss to Atlanta just last night. Minnesota, on the other hand, is back at full strength and playing with confidence. They're coming off a big-time win where they dropped 141 points on the Grizzlies and have looked sharp over the past couple of weeks. One team's gearing up for the postseason, the other's just playing out the string. When it comes to betting, the Timberwolves are looking like the easy call heading into this one. They've managed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 7 games. And even when they're coming in on shorter rest, they've posted a respectable 9-7 record. That kind of consistency stands in stark contrast to the Nets, who have only managed to cover 3 times in their last 9 games. Even though Brooklyn has covered in 30 of 68 games when listed as the underdog this season, their recent form doesn't inspire much confidence. As our first pick for this matchup, the Minnesota Timberwolves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Stat-wise, the Timberwolves are playing at a measured pace. StatMuse.com puts their pace rating at 97.28, which ranks 23rd in the league. Brooklyn's not too far behind with a pace of 96.47. But when you look at how their games have been playing out, things lean toward high-scoring affairs. The Nets have seen 7 of their last 9 games go over the total, and 18 of their 30 non-conference matchups have hit the over as well. Minnesota's been on a similar track lately, with 7 of their last 11 going over too. The Timberwolves have shown they can push the tempo when they want to, and with both teams trending toward high point totals, this one looks like it could turn into a shootout. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.